It starts with a blinding flash. To grasp the destructive power of nuclear weapons, we must first understand their nature. Let's talk numbers, terrifying numbers. Here's what happens in the seconds after detonation. Most people think the horror ends with the explosion, but it doesn't. Let's bust some myths about nuclear bombs. Here's a terrifying thought. We've almost had nuclear. Today, 9 countries possess nuclear weapons. Imagine waking up to a world forever changed. Believe it or not, you can improve your chances of survival. The threat of nuclear war hasn't vanished. Nuclear weapons represent the pinnacle of human technological power. It starts with a blinding flash. Then comes the roar, louder than thunder, a fiery mushroom cloud towering miles into the sky. But what really happens when a nuclear bomb is detonated? How powerful are they? And what chilling facts are hidden beneath the surface of these terrifying weapons? Buckle up, because today on Amazing World Facts, we're diving into the incredible, unbelievable power of nuclear bombs and what you didn't know about them. To grasp the destructive power of nuclear weapons, we must first understand their nature. A nuclear bomb, unlike conventional explosives, taps into the immense energy stored in atoms. There are 2 main types: fission bombs, or A-bombs, split heavy atomic nuclei like uranium-235. Fusion bombs, or H-bombs, force atomic nuclei together, releasing even more energy. The explosion is rooted in Einstein's equation, E = mc2, converting mass into energy. Just 1 gram of matter can unleash energy equivalent to 22 tons of TNT. Let's talk numbers, terrifying numbers. The bomb dropped on Hiroshima in 1945 released about 15 kilotons of TNT. That's 15,000 tons of explosive power. Nagasaki's bomb was around 21 kilotons. But modern nuclear weapons? They dwarf these. The most powerful nuclear device ever detonated was the Tsar Bomba, tested by the Soviet Union in 1961. It had a yield of 50 megatons. That's 3,033 times more powerful than Hiroshima. Imagine this. The Tsar Bomba's explosion was so massive it shattered windows 500 miles away, and the shockwave circled the Earth 3 times. Here's what happens in the seconds after detonation. Flash and fireball. Within milliseconds, temperatures soar to millions of degrees, hotter than the core of the sun. The fireball vaporizes everything in its path. Blast wave. Air is violently pushed outward, flattening buildings, trees, and anything in its radius. This is where most injuries and destruction occur. Thermal radiation burns people even miles away. First, second, and third degree burns can occur within seconds. Radiation burst, deadly ionizing radiation is released, causing acute radiation sickness in anyone nearby. Fallout. Radioactive particles are carried high into the atmosphere and can fall back to Earth miles or even continents away, contaminating soil, water, and food for decades. Most people think the horror ends with the explosion, but it doesn't. The bomb is just the beginning. Long-term effects can be deadlier than the blast. In Hiroshima, an estimated 140,000 people died by the end of 1945, but many more died over the years from radiation exposure, cancer, and genetic damage. 2. Nuclear winter is real. If just 100 modern nuclear weapons were detonated in a regional war, say between 2 countries like India and Pakistan, the soot and smoke could block out sunlight, reduce global temperatures, and cause a worldwide famine. This is called nuclear winter. NASA models have shown that such a war could cut sunlight by 30% and shorten growing seasons, disrupting global food supplies for years. 3. One warhead can annihilate a major city. A single modern thermonuclear warhead, like those on Russian or US ICBMs, can level a city like New York, London, or Tokyo, not just damage it. Millions could die instantly, and millions more from fallout and starvation. Let's bust some myths about nuclear bombs. Myth: you can survive a nuclear bomb in a refrigerator. Thanks, Indiana Jones. Fact: no. Temperatures and shock waves would crush or vaporize anything nearby. That scene is pure Hollywood. Myth: nuclear bombs ignite the atmosphere. Fact: this was a real concern in 1945 before the first test. Luckily, calculations proved it couldn't happen. Myth: fallout only affects ground zero. Fact: fallout can spread thousands of miles. After Chernobyl, radioactive isotopes were found across Europe and even in the US. Here's a terrifying thought. We've almost had nuclear disasters by accident, several times. 1961 Goldsboro incident. A US B-52 bomber broke up in midair over North Carolina, dropping 2 hydrogen bombs. One came seconds away from detonation. 1983 Soviet false alarm. Soviet officer Stanislav Petrov saved the world by not launching a retaliatory strike. The system falsely detected incoming US missiles. 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. The world came within a hair's breadth of nuclear war, but diplomacy prevailed. Today, 9 countries possess nuclear weapons: the US, Russia, China, France, the UK, India, Pakistan, North Korea, and Israel. As of 2025, there are an estimated 12,500 nuclear warheads worldwide. Just 100 warheads could destroy all major urban centers on Earth. And it's not just bombs anymore. We now have intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs, hypersonic delivery systems, tactical nuclear weapons for battlefield use. Imagine waking up to a world forever changed. Cities reduced to rubble, infrastructure gone, medical systems overwhelmed, governments collapsing, radioactive fallout poisoning food, water, air, agriculture suffering globally, climate disruptions, mass famine, economic collapse even in uninvolved countries. A study says over 5 billion could die, mainly from starvation. Life as we know it, altered beyond recognition. What would you do in a world like this? Believe it or not, you can improve your chances of survival in a nuclear explosion if you know what to do. First, don't look at the flash. It can cause permanent blindness. Get inside immediately. Thick concrete or underground structures are best. Stay away from windows. Shelter in place for at least 24 to 72 hours to avoid fallout. Decontaminate. Remove clothing. Wash your body thoroughly. Have an emergency supply kit with food, water, a radio, and potassium iodide tablets. The threat of nuclear war hasn't vanished. It's just mutated. Modern threats include cyber attacks on nuclear systems, rogue states or terrorists obtaining nuclear materials, and AI-controlled warfare and launch systems. But there's also hope. Since the Cold War, over 80% of nuclear weapons have been dismantled, thanks to treaties like START and New START. There's growing global pressure for complete disarmament, but the journey is far from over. Nuclear weapons represent the pinnacle of human technological power and our darkest potential. They remind us that we hold the fate of civilization in our hands, and with that, the responsibility to prevent catastrophe. If you found this video shocking, eye-opening, or even just fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. And tell us in the comments what surprised you the most about nuclear bombs. Hit the bell icon for more unbelievable facts, science stories, and mysteries from around the world, only on Amazing World Facts.